When Denji isn't fighting for his life, he's trying to find his wife. You feel what I'm saying?
We be joking, but who can? I'm so nice, I need 2 minutes. I'm so high, I need 2 minutes. I'm so high, I need 2 minutes.
Denji's fighting devils and all that, but that's not even the toughest part. Bro could take a hit. He could take a lot of hits, actually. Like, a lot. Denji's problem is much bigger and scarier than a devil. And because of that, he's a lot more complex than people give him credit for. Denji is extremely stupid and very, very desperate. But think about it, bro. This kid's an orphan working for the Yakuza. His only friend is this dog that he found laying on the side of the road. Come to find out, it's a devil, bro. You can't expect too much from him. But there's something special about Denji. It's why he's so sought after by so many people and devils. A huge part of it is because he's Chainsaw Man now, and you know they tryna. But what I want to talk about is that other part. Who is Denji? What makes him so compelling? Why do we root for him so much even though we know for a fact that he's gonna make the worst possible decision? In order to answer all these questions, first we gotta dive into this world that he lives in. Because this is like a dog-eat-dog version of Japan, where fear itself takes physical form and manifests as devils. This is the truth about the world of Chainsaw Man. The reason that people like Denji end up in the situations that they do, it's by design. This world is run by fear, the fear of devils, the fear of what the devils represent. There's so many people who are afraid in this world that they need someone to protect them from the things that they are scared of. Now think about what type of person you would have to be in order to overcome something that the majority of people around you are afraid of. You have to be willing to risk your life. You have to be willing to sacrifice yourself. Hence devil contracts, hence hybrids. Because yes, even a hybrid like Denji, he made a contract with Pochita. It was mutual, but Denji is Chainsaw Man. He's half devil. He is no longer just a human. And I think that's an important distinction to make because it says a lot about public safety as a whole and what it takes to actually be a part of this organization. And I think Makima handpicks these people. I mean, she's obviously very interested in Denji himself, but I think she handpicks these certain individuals who are willing to sacrifice themselves for what they believe is the greater good. So that begs another question. What is the job of public safety? Because it's not like the police, you know, protect and serve and whatnot. Not necessarily. The job of public safety is to maintain a sort of balance in the world. Because let's be honest, there's no way most of these devils are getting defeated without the use of another devil's power. The military is not beating the Bat Devil. I'm sorry. Especially because they need permission to fire guns as to not increase the strength of the gun devil. Nah, bro. The Chainsaw Man universe without devils, without devil contracts, gets no diffed by the Leech Devil. No power scaling though. My point is, all of these people that you see here that are a part of public safety, they don't have any other choice. This is a kill or be killed world. In this universe, there's no such thing as, oh, I'm just gonna live peacefully. I'm not even gonna think about devils or anything like that. I'm just gonna, nah. If you are afraid of something, you are adding to the strength of a devil directly. So they needed to create countermeasures for that thing. And I think there's no way for that to not be a corrupt system that takes advantage of people who are less fortunate, who are miserable, who have lost their entire families to devil attacks, who want revenge, who want to see the world become a better place. These types of people are the easiest to manipulate because they believe that their actions are righteous. And that's not to say that there aren't good members of public safety. I would say Aki's a pretty stand-up guy. Kobeni to an extent, she be trying. This dude, he aight. That's just something to think about. But back to Denji though, because his perspective is what makes this so much more interesting because he grew up with nothing. I'm talking homeless, holeless, and homieless. That's the big three right there. So when Denji makes that contract with Pochita, he knew that he had nothing to lose. Pochita literally said, "I'll lend you my heart. In exchange, show me your dreams." And then they became one. Now he doesn't have to fear death anymore. Then he meets Makima, and then he doesn't have to worry about being hungry or being homeless. So hey, there's only one thing left to check off that list. The second that there's the possibility of intimacy with a woman in any way, he just turns into like a dog. I want to justify it by saying, you know, he's in survival mode, so that's just his trauma response, and that could be the case, but there's a little bit more to it. I think Denji has never owned his body. He sold himself both literally and figuratively just in order to survive. All he knows is how to be useful to get what he wants. He's at one of the lowest levels of consciousness, and it's crazy because in this world it's a privilege to even be able to dream of a normal life. Think about how many people have had their lives torn apart by devils. They fight for revenge, they fight to protect themselves or their families. But Denji's first betrayal in the show wasn't even a devil, it was a human. He was forced to pay off a debt left behind by his father. His life has never belonged to him. That's why I asked that question earlier. Who is Denji? A question that no one has ever even thought about asking him, because people are taught to fear devils and kill them. So somebody like Denji is just destined to fail. I mean, he would be if he wasn't Chainsaw. Denji actually isn't that dumb. Look at him with his glasses. How can you not trust this guy? But nah, he's very self-aware, and I like that we get to see the way he processes big emotions. For example, when Aki starts talking crazy to him about how he hates devils and he wants to make them suffer, Denji doesn't just sit there and take it. He straight up tells Aki, if there are devils that want to be friends, I'll be friends with them because I don't have any. Little side note, I love Aki. He's my favorite character in the whole series to this day, but I can't lie. When we first meet him, I was like, dang, this dude is a bully. Another example, with Power, Denji gets completely bamboozled. She sent him on a side quest to get Miaoi back, and when he gets his reward, he realizes, she's like, dang, hold on, that wasn't even as good as I thought it was gonna be. I had to do all that just for this? I mean, after that, Makima shows him how it's really supposed to go, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. The biggest example early in this series of Denji's emotional intelligence, though, is how he handles the situation with Himeno. Not only did he have that atrocious first kiss, bro was inches away from getting what he's been dreaming about, and he still says no. This woman is like 6-7 years older than him. I'm sorry. And then when she dies, he asks himself, why don't I feel anything? He knows that they weren't that close, even though they kissed and they almost did more. He knows that they didn't build an emotional connection, and that's what he's actually looking for. Deep down, Denji does care about what his feelings mean. Once he gets into a position where he's not fighting for survival anymore, he's able to think about what he wants out of life emotionally. He got the 3 meals a day, a warm bed, a couple co-workers who eventually become his close friends, and not to mention, he's basically immortal. When life changes that fast, especially for a kid like him, you can't expect him to just become the most mentally stable, mature person. Denji's story is one of becoming. That's what makes him special. He's reckless, he's goofy, but at the end of the day, he's honest. And that honesty is exactly why someone like Makima can manipulate him so easily. She knows what Denji wants, and she has the power and knowledge to give him whatever he needs. Poor orphan boy left all alone, no home, all he wants is food, a place to stay, some affection, and he'll do whatever you want. What does that sound like to you? Exactly. Nobody cares about Denji because they don't have to. All they have to do is give him what he wants, and they get what they want. Makima is the most sinister example because she doesn't try to convince Denji to do things that he doesn't want to do. She gives him false choices where she controls the outcome regardless. Makima has only ever been nice to Denji. The first thing she ever did was give him a hug. In a weird way, Makima is kind of like Denji's mom. No! Makima sits high above Denji. She's his boss. She comes down herself and she makes him feel safe. Now, her intentions may or may not be pure. Only time will tell. But we can definitely tell that there's some bigger reason behind why she's doing all this specifically for him. Her actions are nice, but her words are firm, commanding almost. I want to talk about something real quick. The anime skips this, but in the manga, early on in like chapter 3, I think, there's this short section where Makima sends Denji to go kill the muscle devil who has kidnapped this little girl. She basically tells him, do what I say or I will have you executed. So obviously he goes. The little girl gives him a sob story about how this devil protected her when her dad would hit her. Denji empathizes with her. He like, yo, let's run away together. Come to find out, whole time it was a trick by the muscle devil. And Denji got absolutely finessed. Fortunately though, he manages to get rid of the devil and save the little girl. Now, the importance of this moment is that Makima knew damn well she could have taken that devil out without even lifting a finger. But her goal here was to condition Denji. One, do whatever she says, knowing that if he doesn't, he will die. And two, show him how evil devils can truly be. How she and the devil hunters are the only ones that he can trust. I'm gonna just leave that there. It's time to talk about it.
When it was cold outside, the one thing that I told her, you better love me like you don't know when it's over.
Listen, man, if you think Reze didn't actually like Denji, you must have never been in a toxic relationship, and I commend you for that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, she was down bad for Denji. Once he pulled that flower out of his mouth and he handed it to her, she was falling in love. She was about to, she was gonna turn bro into a fish fillet. She knew who he was. It just so happens Reze is almost as weird as Denji, and she fell for him. She forgot about the mission a little bit. She's such a good gaslighter. She even manipulated and gaslit herself. Denji's date with Makima earlier on in this arc, it taught him something. It's the little things, the unspoken, intimate moments that make a connection special. It's why that one movie made them cry when they thought all the other ones were corny. So when he meets Reze and he starts pursuing something with her, at first his guard is up because he's been hurt before and his heart belongs to Makima. But she shows him her goofy side and he opens up a little more, and Reze just has a lot more in common with him. They're closer in age, so it just makes more sense. She takes him to school on their first date and teaches him how to swim. Look at them, they skinny dipping. I was in the theater like, yo, should I even be here, bro? I'm third wheeling. But as you know, this is Chainsaw Man, so of course everything had to go wrong. Every time Denji finds something even remotely close to normal, the world snatches it away before he can even decide what it meant to him. Reze and Denji's short time together was proof that both of them could have that genuine love, even though they've been through so much and never got the opportunity to experience something like that before. That's what makes this so tragic. They didn't just lose each other. They were cursed from the moment that they met. There is no universe where Denji and Reze can live happily ever after, because they are too alike. They both wanted more while being trapped under the watchful eye of the ones who truly hold the power. You can see in Reze's hesitation how she talked to him and she kissed him right before trying to kill him. She wanted it, but she knew that the mission was greater than her feelings for Denji. And same thing with Denji. His resolve to save Reze even though she tried to kill him and all of his friends. These two truly loved each other. In this world, love doesn't win. It never does. I'm talking about Chainsaw Man. I'm not talking about the real world. I mean, seeing Denji just lose another chance at peace hit me so hard, because first love, second love, whatever, the person that you're with teaches you things that you might still carry with you to this day, even though you're not with them anymore. Life is like that sometimes. Gives you something beautiful and you give it your all, but you can't keep it. That's why I think that It's so cool that Reze is the bomb devil. She represents that explosive, instant chemistry. Her and Denji had that. Everything happened so fast. But in the end, everything turned to dust. And then they were just left with the fallout. When people say stuff like, oh, Denji, I like Denji, he just like me, I don't blame them. Because Denji isn't some broken character constantly suffering through life. Most of the time, this dude is smiling. Chainsaw Man is a tragic story, but not because Denji's just a loser. It's beautifully tragic. He keeps trying for that normal life that he always wanted. He's never had people be nice to him just cause. He's been lonely his entire life. Up until now, he's just starting to meet people. He's just starting to make friends. He's starting to learn things, learn more about himself in relation to others. So of course he's gonna keep searching for that love and connection. There's nothing else in this world that feels like that. That's what I love about Denji and Chainsaw Man as a whole. It shows that love and chaos can coexist. And sometimes they're one and the same. And I want to say something about love, because there's a lot of like doomers and what's it called, like black pillars and stuff like that. Oh, love isn't real. No, even a brief spark, even if it leaves you scarred, if you felt that love for that person, and if they felt that love for you, it was real. For however long it was real. And sometimes that's all you need to keep going. Connecting with somebody, meeting somebody, and experiencing all of those things. That's just another beautiful aspect of life. And just like everything else in this life, even us, it fades. No matter what, it's gonna change you in some way. And I think for somebody like Denji, you know, somebody who's never really gotten the chance to feel that, sometimes just feeling that, just experiencing that is enough. It's sad, but at the same time, it's low-key inspiring because he keeps going. So, needless to say, the movie was incredible. The soundtrack is insane, bro. There's this part where Denji and Reze are fighting, and it starts off with Chainsaw Man's theme, and then in the background they start playing Reze's theme, like the piano starts playing in the back. Ooh. Chainsaw Man is already my favorite manga, but if Mappa, if they keep cooking like they did with this movie, hey, it might take Demon Slayer's spot for my favorite anime. I'm not gonna lie. But that's all I really had to say, y'all. If you like this video, make sure you press the like button, like physically press the like button. It helps me out. It inspires me. Every like increases my power level by 1%. Alright, so make sure you handle that. If you made it this far in the video, give me a wilted flower emoji so I know. Confuse the enemy. Alright? All the fake people that left early on, confuse them. They scroll in the comments, they like, what they talking about? What is all these wilted flower emojis? Y'all know what to do. Subscribe to hear me talk about your next favorite anime. I said that weird. One more time. Let's do it. Do it with me. Subscribe to hear me talk about your next favorite anime. And with that,